So, as a believer in the Indiana Pacers, obviously everybody that's listening to this, you want to listen to me. Now, that guy over there, I don't know if he's on the same page as me or not, because I think they can be better than the Boston Celtics next year, but that's a whole different discussion. So we'll see what John Corrales has to say about that with Paul George as the second option over there. But Tyrese Haliburton, if you are looking for your respect, if you live in Indianapolis, you looking for respect, I'm the man you need to talk to. John Corrales, let's see if I can convince you that the Pacers are contenders next year. This is Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
Big chicken, baby. I think a lot. I'm very smart.
Take that back.
Yep. Let's get it. Indiana Pacers. Let's go. John Corrales and Swiper back again. Y'all know what time it is. Cannot wait for this episode. Every time John and I jump on the mic, there's a pre-show, show, post-show. If you want Locked On Nuggets, Locked On Celtics, tune in to us. But if you want Locked On dating advice, tune in to us. We're going to have an After 12 special this season, John.
They missed some gems. They don't know what I know. They don't know. We're going to put that behind a paywall.
All right, y'all. This is going to be an extra special episode. I cannot wait to get into this. Y'all, the Indiana Pacers, I feel like, John, they're like a sleeping giant, because last season, if you go through the numbers, you go through the games, you go through the team, they had so many injuries up and down the board. And even though last year they traded for Ivica Zubac last year only played 5 games for the Pacers. And if you look at what happened, obviously Tyrese Haliburton missing the entire season. And then you look at the fact that Pascal Siakam only played 62 games last year. Obviously, Benny is gone. Andrew Nembhard played 57. Neesmith, he played 45. Obi Toppin only played 24. And so Jay Huff was really the only player. He had 82 games played. Ben Shepherd had 65 games played this last year. And then even if you just look at like the rest of the roster, they just did not have guys on the floor. Now, some of that was purposeful. Some of that was injuries. But, John, it feels like this team is kind of just – they're right below the radar, right where they want to be.
Yeah, I think partly because they're the Indiana Pacers, and no matter how good they are going to be the radar is going to be somewhere above them. You know what I mean? They're going to always be below it. But, yeah, I don't think people are really paying much attention to what the Pacers are, because they just kind of disappeared last season. And everything, you said some of it was purposeful. I'm going to say most of it was purposeful. Shout out to Rick Carlisle for swallowing his pride and being like, all right, you know what? It's like Rick has accomplished enough in life where he's like, yeah, I'll drive this tank for a season. And they did not coach to win. They did not play to win. They were trying to develop players. They're trying to figure out who could stay, who could go. They made their moves. They did not rush Tyrese Haliburton back. They didn't even feign the possibility of him coming back in March or April like Jason Tatum did. Now, Tatum injured his Achilles a little bit earlier than Haliburton, so I can understand why you would rule Haliburton out. He did it at the last possible game of the NBA season, so I get it. I like what Jason Tatum did because it knocked off the rust. So when we're talking about what the Pacers are going to be this year, there's an added element of, Hallie looks like he's back. He's playing. He's been playing 5-on-5 for a while. He kind of looks like himself in scrimmages that we've seen and all of that. But there's still an NBA level of getting yourself back into the competition, getting yourself back up to speed. So I know we're going to get to the win totals and all of that. The East is going to be so good, I think, that the early figuring themselves out process might be a little bit might hold the Pacers back a little bit, and that might be a little bit of why some of the projections are a little bit low. I think this might be like the Pacers from their finals run. Early, kind of like, then all of a sudden, and off they go mid to late season. So, but sleeping on them, don't sleep on them. I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's going to be something there with the Pacers. To me, it's just a matter of when does that show itself?
So if people are not familiar, this Pacers team, their rotation next year is going to be quite distinct from a little bit different than what it was 2 years ago, but also it's going to be very similar in ways. So Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, Ivica Zubac. That's their starting five. Off the bench, TJ McConnell, Kelly Oubre Jr., Obi Toppin, Larry Nance, Jarris Walker, Ben Shepherd, and then Jay Huff as well. And this is not including Kobe Brown and Johnny Furphy as well. I think that is a legitimately very good 1 through 12, 1 through 13 that can get you through regular season and also get you through playoffs. I think they have a lot of playoff versatility. Now, if Ivica Zubac, just for the audience, if people are maybe perhaps unaware or you might forget, if Ivica Zubac, if he's able to get back to what he was in that 2024-25 season, in which I think he should have made an all-NBA team that year, that season, he was spectacular per 75, 19 points per game, 7 assists per game, 14 rebounds per game per 75 again. And then this is when I had him as a top 3 defensive player. He had a +9 net rating. He was a +6 on the defensive end that season as well. He is one of the best rim protectors in the sport. He's truly one of the best anchors that we have in the league. And he also has elite touch around the basket as well. Like, he is somebody who makes a massive change in your defensive infrastructure. So, John, when I see him battling versus Mitchell Robinson or Karl Anthony Towns or Bam Adebayo and Giannis, this is the kind of prototypical new NBA center you need, who's mobile enough, but also he can hold his own on a night in, night out basis versus anybody in the Eastern Conference. And I think having that next to these shooters and offensive players, I think their defensive personnel is actually good, and I think their offensive personnel is going to be really good. They're going to be a top, like, they'll have a phase, maybe a 40 games this year, John, where they're going to be a top 10 offense and defense over the course of a large sample size.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Where in that 10 is going to be an interesting kind of thing, but Zubac definitely helps them. And this is going to be part of the adjustment process that I was talking about early on, because Haliburton hasn't played with Zubac, and a lot of these guys haven't played much with Zubac because he got hurt and was held out and all of that. So they're going to have to figure that out. And it's not like playing with Miles Turner. He's not going to spread the floor. He's not going to protect the rim in the same way, but he's obviously going to be a guy that can start breaks. And for a team that likes to run, having that rim protector is going to get them out there in the breaks. The only difference is that Zubac is not going to be trailing at the 3-point line. He's going to have to run a little bit harder to get into the paint and maybe, get in for some offensive rebounds or something. So again, a little bit of a feeling out process, but your point is absolutely correct that defensive anchor is going to be huge for them. It's just a different style. They're going to have to figure out this different style. And I like this mix, and all those guys that you listed earlier, I think it's a very 2026 NBA where you need depth. You need your 7, 8, 9, 10 guys to be very viable contributors, because it's that depth that's going to help you win a lot of these games. They might not have the exact top end talent that some of these other teams have, but when you get to the back half of their roster, I think they have guys that are going to be able to contribute in a meaningful way. And that's going to be the difference, where the Pacers are going to win second quarters. They're going to win like the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. Like, they're going to have those stretches where they keep things close or build a little bit of a lead and give Haliburton a chance to do what he does.
Sure. Right now, if I look at their FanDuel, their total on the season in wins is predicted to be at 43.5. That number feels kind of low for me, John. How do you feel about 43.5 wins right now?
That's tough. It's tough because of what I said before. I just think they're going to start slow. I think that when you look at Christmas and you look at the standings, and you can be like, man, what's going on with the Pacers? I thought they were supposed to be good. And they're going to be a little bit on the lower side. I'm still going to say over, but not like 50 wins over. I think they're going to struggle. But again, when you're going to look at like the second half of the season standings, you're gonna be like, oh wow, the Pacers are like a top 14 versus they were a bottom, like the 10th seed before that. So I'm gonna say that early part depresses them a little bit. I'm gonna be like 44 wins, 45 wins. So I'm gonna go slightly over.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm taking over as well, and I feel that pretty comfortably. But on the other side, we're talking about Tyrese Haliburton, because is he going to be one of the 5 best players in the Eastern Conference next year? Is he going to go into the season there? Is he going to end the season there? I think that's going to be an interesting conversation, because I think there's a pathway for him to do that. But we got to talk about all that and more here at Locked On NBA Game Night. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every team's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get a chance to make your prediction before the first pitch. Now, I'm telling y'all this right now. If you have not gotten a chance to watch the Atlanta Braves this year, you need to tap in. They just played a doubleheader back-to-back versus the Los Angeles Dodgers in the last 2 days, and they swept that back-to-back, in part because fantastic pitching from Sale, but also with just a great batter's box they have as well. They were able to win a single game home run, 1-0 win last night, and then they won 5-6 with the walk-off RBI in the game previous. And if you look at this season, man, they have a lot of players showing out. Matt Olson feels like every other game he's coming away with a home run with 37. Ozzie has 20 home runs this year. And then obviously Michael Harris, the home run champ himself, has 21 homers. Like, that team is a massive team when it comes to hitting dingers. So make sure you're continuing to tap into them every single day. So are you ready to play your game? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. We'll be back for more here at Locked On NBA Game Night. And we are back for Locked On NBA Game Night. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for joining us each and every day. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on the YouTube side and give us a like and share as well. Also, give us a 5-star review on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. That way, more and more people can listen to great content being made here at Locked On NBA Game Night. So, John, as I'm going through this in my head, and I'm looking at Tyrese Haliburton and the great player that he is, and just for a reminder, he's been gone for a whole season. So I think a lot of people have kind of detached themselves from what exactly he's able to do as a basketball player. But the year before, he was third-team All-NBA, averaged 19 points a game, 9 assists a game, and he shot over that season, he shot 58% from 2, which is crazy for a point guard, 39% from 3 on almost 8 attempts a game while shooting 85% from the free throw line. And you want to talk about somebody as an offensive initiator, Tyrese Haliburton is one of the best that we have in the sport, maybe one of the 4 best that we have in the sport, depending on who it is that you're talking about. But he is a great offensive engine. He's somebody who taps in and creating great advantages for his team on a day-to-day basis. He is a great passer. He is a great half-court player. He can also commit to playing team defense as well. The last time that we saw him, he was averaging 22.7 potential assists per game, while also literally never turning the ball over. He's a 99th percentile turnover player as well. So, John, when you evaluate going into this season, who do you think the 5 best players in the Eastern Conference are right now going into the season?
Right now, I love Haliburton, but I just don't know what he's going to be after the injury. So I have to wait and see. I might have him on my list by the end of the season, but going in, You got to look at Jalen Brunson is in the top 5. Cade Cunningham's in the top 5. I struggle with the injury stuff. I want to put Giannis in the top 5 and Jason Tatum in there. I feel comfortable having seen Tatum up close for a month and a half, that he's going to come back and be in the top 5. And then I think at 5 or within there, I'm going to put Donovan Mitchell as the 5th, with apologies to Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey and those guys, maybe Kawhi Leonard if he comes east eventually. But I think so, that top 5 in some order is Brunson, Cade, Tatum, Giannis, and Donovan Mitchell.
So say it again. Let me get this in order real quick. I'm going to write this down. Say it again.
Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell.
Why is Brunson ahead of Giannis, for instance? Is that because
I'm not really in order. Like I know that.
Well, you got to do it in order.
Okay. In order, I'm going to say Cade. I'm going to say Cade is the best player in the East right now. He's fully healthy. He is. I don't need to go through all of his accolades and all that stuff. I think that he's got everything together. Aside from some of the teammate issues, I think Cade Cunningham is the best all-around player, because like Giannis, I don't know how available he's going to be. Jason Tatum, I feel comfortable with a lot of things, but we only saw 20 games. Like, he can be passed by the end of the season, but right now I put Cade. And that's why I think I put like Cade, and then I'm gonna say Brunson as number 2, and then Giannis and Tatum as 3, 4, with Mitchell as 5, and because of the injury stuff, that's why I'm not putting those guys up higher, because if Giannis plays 40 games, then those 40 games might be better than a lot of these other. But what's that get you? You're still playing. You're missing 42 half the season. So that's my rationale.
Sure. Yeah, that's tough.
Disagree? You're like, no, don't feel it.
Well, no, I'm looking at it right now, like, and I'm trying to say, like, I think
you gave me a sure, just like my wife says sure when I try to explain my actions, and she's like, sure, and I'm like, oh, geez, all right.
No, I guess I'm trying to look at it like, I think Giannis we're a little. Like, I have some people I know that think he's going to win MVP this next year. I don't think that good.
Then this gets us to the next thing. Then, if you disagree with me at the beginning of the season, like, I think at the end of the season there could be a different story. But that's why I'm differentiating it.
Yeah. See, the last 2 years ago, he played 67 games, 73 the year before that, 63, 67, 61, but 36 last year, obviously. So it feels like that could be just an anomaly, hopefully, and Giannis is able to play 65 plus games this next year. So I say right now how I feel about the East, I will go Giannis. Cade is a good shout. Do I think Cade is better than Jason Tatum? I can see an argument for it, because the question is like, Tatum is a better all-around defender. Cade's a better point of attack defender probably, and he's a point guard. He's a better passer than Tatum is, play initiator. Is he a better scorer? Now, he was shooting 40% from 3 in the first round really in the playoffs on like 8 attempts a game. The driving and stuff is obviously incredible. He's a better ball handler than Tatum is.
It's tough. It's tough going in, but I think, like, again, the mitigating factor at the end of the season, when we say,
well, we'll do the end of the season in the third segment.
Okay, because right now I think that'll change.
Right now, for the second time, I'll go Giannis, I'll go Cade, I'll go. Oh man, either family's gonna be mad at me. I'll go Brunson for right now. I'm sure, whatever. Then I'll go Tatum. Do I think Mitchell is better than him? Mitchell is a good player, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just pretend Kawhi. has been traded.
Okay,
right?
fair.
So then if I'm doing that, then I'm going to go Giannis, Kawhi, Cade, Brunson, Tatum. Right now. So that's for now. On the other side, we're going to get through the full year based on end of the year stuff. Who are going to be the 5 best players in Eastern Conference? And can Tyrese Haliburton sneak his way on into that list, even for somebody with green of a soul as John Corrales? We'll talk about all that and more here at Locked On NBA Game Night. Running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place. Odoo is the one platform to manage, grow, and scale your business. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about having everyone working towards the same goal. And that's true in sports, just like it is in business. Now, I think about building these teams. Think about building the New York Knicks and all the things they needed to be successful. The Boston Celtics, when they won their title, KP, Drew, Derek, Jason, Jalen. But you also need role players and people like Peyton Pritchard to do the job and Sam Hauser. Building a team is not just about having stars. It's about how everybody knowing their role and being able to commit to it as well. Great organizations win because operations matter. And that's why you should get Odoo. Odoo is the one platform to manage, grow, and scale your business. Try it for free today at odoo.com/lockedon. That's ODOO.com/lockedon. We'll be back for the final segment here at Locked On NBA Game Night. And we are back for the final segment of Locked On NBA Game Night. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us each and every day. John, we're talking about the top 5 players to start the season in the Eastern Conference. Now we're talking about the top 5 players by the end of the season next year. So with that in mind, assuming health and assuming games played, assuming they're making high leverage impact for their team, who do you think the top 5 players in the East will be by the end of this upcoming season?
Jason Tatum, number 1. I think he's going to have a great season for the Celtics. I will put Giannis number 2. I'm going to say Cade will be number 3. I'm going to go off the board here. It's going to be weird because I don't know what Philly's going to do, but I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey will end up number 4 because he's going to be like the most consistent guy, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. And even though we don't know how a lot of these things are going to fit, I think Maxey he's going to be the one constant there. And then I'm going to put Brunson at 5. Halliburton does not make my list. Again, not to repeat myself too much, just think the beginning of next season is going to be a little tough. There's going to be a lot of figuring things out. But he'll make a run. I think he can make a run to get into that top 5. And it's going to be like what have you done for me lately? So he might have like a post All-Star break that is awesome. And people will be like, no. He's a top 5 player right now. So I'll give you that possibility.
Yeah, so me, by the end of next season, I'm taking Giannis. I am going to take Kawhi Leonard. If he's healthy, he has another one of those seasons. He's going to be the best, I think, among that group.
I don't see that at all, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, this is where me and Chill, you probably don't know who Chill is on Player's Choice, right? Me and Chill got in a massive argument when we were in Indianapolis, did a live in-person taping, because I told him that I think Tatum was the group of Kawhi, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Tatum that year. Tatum was the 4th best in the 23-24 season. And I said Kawhi, crazy into the year especially. But then Kawhi this last year, I had him first team All-NBA this last season for Kawhi. Kawhi was spectacular this last season. When Kawhi is healthy, he's a 27 points per game player, one of the best jump shooters in the league, one of the best defenders in the league. But he was healthy last year. He was healthy this last season. And reportedly, there are some insights. Kawhi Leonard isn't having any knee issues either. He feels good. He feels fine.
All right.
So if he's healthy, and again, we're assuming health for all these players, by the way, because that's the whole point, right?
Sure.
If Kawhi Leonard plays 65 games again this year, and he's averaging last year 28 points a game, 6 rebounds, and he averages 3.5 assists, 2 steals a game, and he shoots 57% from 2, 39% from 3 on 7 attempts a game, and 89% from the free throw line, it's going to be really difficult to pass up that version of Kawhi for me outside of Giannis. So I have Giannis, Kawhi. I got to pick one of them. Cade. Maybe Cade. Cade might have taken a leap into that Tatum tier and like Kawhi tier. So Cade, Tatum, like this.
Okay. And number 5.
I'm going to make all Toronto people happy. I'll make all of Canada happy. I'll go Scotty Barnes for fun.
Wow.
I think Scotty Barnes should have been all NBA this last year anyway. I had him 3rd on my DPOY list.
Okay.
Or 4th. I can't remember. He's an incredible player, incredible playmaker, incredible defensive player, and he's going to take a leap. I think they're going to have 2 top 5 players in the Eastern Conference on the Raptors next year.
That's amazing. I disagree, but that is amazing. I want to, before we move on, just say that it is very bad for the Orlando Magic that neither of us said Paolo Banchero, because they need Paolo Banchero to be a top 5 player, and neither of us seem to have even considered that. He's on my list that I chose from. I did not put him in my top 5, but if Orlando is going to be anything, they need Paolo to be a top 5 player.
But Paolo can also get into a series and he can outshoot all these players at the same time because he's done it before.
Maybe. I'm just making a point that 2 of us, we know a little bit about basketball, and neither of us were like, I don't know where Paolo Banchero fits in this.
The real thing is that none of us said Donovan Mitchell, and I just don't think Donovan Mitchell is. I think he's good, but like those players I mentioned, Scotty,
I just don't know what the Cavs are going to be.
Well, I know, but it's like level of play though. Do I think Donovan Mitchell is a better player than Brunson? No. Do I think he's a better player than Kawhi? No. Tatum? No. Giannis? No. Cade? No. Like Scotty? Yes, as of right now, but I'm projecting growth from Scotty. Can Scotty get there? I mean, even Karl Anthony Towns in the playoffs was phenomenal.
Sure.
Sure. What do we do with that? Like, I also think Tyrese Haliburton when he's back, it's going to be a light show in Indianapolis again. So, like, what do you do with Tyrese?
Yep, 100%. We could be sitting there in March being like, wow, Tyrese Haliburton is absolutely smoking the East right now. No doubt about it. But I don't know what the Cavs are going to be. So, they've made some moves. I'm very confused by the Cavs. And I'm going to say Karl Anthony Towns championship hangover. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 guy. So that's where I land.
I'm surprised you didn't say Jalen Brunson at all. Sorry, Jaylen Brown.
I just don't. The Sixers are going to be very, very confusing as well because their ceiling is great in NBA championship. Their floor is, a big mess with a bunch of people kind of like trolling each other on social media. And so I don't think Jalen's going to get the touches that he needs, having watched him his entire career. I don't think he's going to get the touches that he needs to have that kind of season where he rises above everybody. He needs to touch the ball a whole lot more than what he's going to touch. Because I don't even know what number option he's going to be in Philly. Maybe he's the second option, but you're still going to have LeBron. You're still going to have Maxey, who I do have on my list. You're going to have Edgecombe, and every 5 games you're going to have Joel Embiid. It's too many. I think he's going to take a step back and fall kind of out of that.
Okay. Let me ask you this and see how you're actually feeling. Who has a better season next year, Paul George or Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown is a better, like Paul George I think it will fit fine in Boston for the season, however long he's there. But Jaylen Brown is obviously the better basketball player. So, I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that it's gonna be like that drastic. I just am not. I need to see how Philly fits together and how the ball distribution kind of works. If it goes the way I think it is, and Tyrese Maxey is going to be like their best player, then there's going to be a drop off somewhere else. It's got to come from somewhere, right? You can't. Jaylen Brown is not going to have the uses. Last year, his usage was somewhere in like pushing like 40%. He was like 36, or maybe it was over 40. It was one of the highest usages around. He's not going to even get close to that. His usage is going to be like 20, 28, 29. It's going to be a huge drop off. So, but when he does stuff, it's going to be more dynamic. He's just better than Paul George. But I think Paul George will be fine in the 45 games that he plays.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown had an on-ball percentage of 28.8%, which is 96th percentile to your point. So that's probably going to go down, this next year. But I'll be curious, y'all, because John and I are going to revisit this about midseason, and then we're going to look at our list and say, man, we really missed on somebody not being there.
100%.
It's going to be a
100%.
random name. It might be Bam. Maybe Bam just starts off incredible next year.
Could be Con Knipple. Could be, who knows?
Hey, if you follow my agenda train, it could be Anthony Black. So who knows? We'll see what happens with that. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe on the other side, y'all. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. That's John Corrales with Locked On Celtics. I'm Swiper with Locked On Nuggets. Y'all know what time it is. It's the best show you can find on YouTube for basketball. Make sure y'all tap in. We'll see you on the other side.